To survive in the wild world you have to put in a really great deal of effort. Some animals squirts a well-aimed stream of blood, others on the other hand have mastered fatal ways of defense.
Oh god. Ah! Ow!
Like and subscribe right now or you are going to have terrible luck for the next video. Let's go. Some animals will defend their territory by fighting with those who try to invade it. Fighting, however, is not often the best option, since it uses up a large amount of energy, and can result in injury or even death. The songs of birds, the drumming of woodpeckers, and the loud calls of monkeys are all warnings that carry for long distances, advertising to potential intruders that someone else's territory is being approached. Many animals rely on smells to mark their territories, spraying urine, leaving droppings or rubbing scent glands around the territory's borders. Approaching animals will be warned off the territory without ever encountering the territory's defender. Yes, ants have not invented artillery yet, but they have something better. You have probably heard about formic acid. It's not sulfuric acid of course, but it can still serve as a pretty good weapon. Ants secrete the formic acid for attack and defense purposes. The most common species of black ant in the United States is the black carpenter ant, which delivers a small amount of formic acid through its jaws as it bites. Formic acid is also found in stinging nettles and the bites and stings of other insects. You would be wrong to think that such tiny creatures are completely harmless. An ant shoots acid from a hole near the tip of its abdomen which it can aim at the enemy. Ants behave as a single organism which is able to resist the attack of any predator. Texas horned lizard with its sharp spikes, horns hissing and an all-round unfriendly demeanor. This lizard still has a number of predators to protect itself from these predators. One unusual defense mechanism involves the flooding of their ocular sinuses, tissues found below their eye, with blood. When a horned lizard feels threatened by a predator, its final defense response is to shoot blood from these flooded sinuses and out its eye sockets. As a result, the predator is often frightened and flees. The lizard also uses this mechanism to remove foreign particles from the surface of its eyes. The horned lizard has two constricting muscles that line the major veins around its eye. When these muscles contract, they cut off blood flow back to the heart, while it continues to flow into the head. By further contracting these muscles in a rapid manner, the pressure increases even more. Horned lizard can shoot blood from the corners of its eyes at a distance of up to 5 meters.
Actually shoot blood out of its eyes, but it just totally shot blood out of its eyes.
Many animals rely on electric currents to communicate, find prey, and defend themselves. Some impressive animals have taken this power a step further, evolving the ability to communicate, defend themselves, and find food via electricity. Most of such creatures live in freshwater ecosystems, using electricity to compensate for their poor vision or inability to see in murky water. Approximately 350 species of fish, including the notorious electric eel, possess anatomical structures that can generate up to a whopping 860 volts of power. In comparison, a shock from your household outlet is about 120 volts. Such species include electric eels, torpedo rays, and African freshwater catfish, all of which send out high-voltage shocks to incapacitate prey. As soon as an eel is attacked by a predator or it needs to stun its prey, the organ cells produce electrical discharges, and, believe me, this isn't something you want to feel at all. Such a defense mechanism comes in handy during the dry season, when water levels are low and large mammals are looking for food. If the fish senses a predator approaching, it may even leap out of the water to deliver an unpleasant surprise. Iberian ribbed newts push their ribs through their skin as weapons. While some species squirt blood at predators, others use their own bones as weapons. The Iberian ribbed newt has an amazing, if disturbing, way of dealing with predators. When threatened, the newt can push its ribs forward and through its stretched skin to create defensive spikes. But not just any spikes, these are poisonous. When teased or attacked by a predator, the newt secretes a poisonous milky substance onto the body surface, while the attacker gets a mouthful of poisonous spines that cause severe pain or possibly even death. The newt itself experiences no significant negative effects from the gruesome strategy. It can perform this skin-piercing maneuver over and over again during its life and heal itself each time without problem. Hairy frogs break their own finger bones to use as claws. There's a good reason why this frog is often called the horror frog and the wolverine frog. When threatened, the hairy frog's main defense is to crack its own finger bones, pierce them through the skin of their toe pads, and use them as claws, not unlike Wolverine of X-Men fame, and definitely falling into the horrific category. What if every time you felt threatened, your first and only method of defense was to break your own bones and use them for weapons? Meet the hairy frog, a Central African species that, despite its name and fuzzy appearance, isn't hairy at all. When breeding, the male frogs develop thin strands of skin along the sides of their bodies that resemble hair. These strands also, in theory, allow the frogs to take in more oxygen while they watch over their eggs. But what's really compelling about this frog is its ability to crack its own toe bones and push them through their skin to form sharp claws, great for warding off would-be attackers. While it's not completely clear what happens to the bones after the threat of attack subsides, researchers believe the bones slide back under the skin when the frog's muscles relax. Hugfish: these frightening creatures defend themselves with slime and chow down on animal carcasses.